I'm Eric Norlander from Alesis. This is the Alesis Fusion synthesizer at Winter NAMM 2005 in Anaheim with SonicState.com showing you the Fusion 8 HD synthesizer. You've been listening to the Fusion synthesizer from Alesis. This is our brand new workstation product. We call it the Fusion because it includes 4 different synthesis types: sample playback and user sampling, virtual analog, physical modeling, and FM synthesis, along with a very powerful sequencer and 8 tracks of 24-bit hard disk recording. The Fusion ships with a 40-gigabyte hard disk, compact flash support, and USB 2.0 connectivity. In addition to focusing on tremendous power and great sounds, I think the primary strength of the Fusion is ease of use. We've gone to great lengths to create a product with a very intuitive user interface and something that guides you through every step and is just very easy to get around on. And I'll be showing you just how easy in just a second. Right now, I want to talk about the individual technologies a bit. Let's start with sample playback and user sampling. Alesis has been doing sample playback for quite some time now, and we have a lot of experience with it. But we didn't just rehash the old QS and Quadrasynth library. We actually started from scratch and came up with a completely new, fresh sound set using our own source material and just going through a number of third-party sound developers. Probably the gem and the crown of the Fusion is the Holy Grail piano, which we've licensed from QUp Arts. It's a multi-strike stereo grand piano, and it's just a beautiful instrument and very playable. So I'm going to play a little bit of it for you right now. Sample playback, of course, is excellent for playing back pianos, playing back guitars, playing back drums, all kinds of keyboard instruments. Here's, I think, a beautiful electric piano from the Fusion. We've got a phase shifter on the piano, some EQ, and also an auto pan on the mod wheel. Let me give you a little bit of clavinet. Here's a small string ensemble being played back. It's actually, I'm going to play back three parts, a cello part, a viola part, and a violin part from the Fusion sequencer. The Fusion also includes analog modeling, and analog modeling and analog synthesis is another thing that Alesis has quite a bit of experience with. We released the Andromeda a few years ago, which of course is actual analog, real analog. We followed that up with the Ion and the Micron, which are just absolutely fantastic sounding analog modeling synthesizers. We've included the analog modeling in the Fusion along with the sample playback technology. So let me just play you a little bit of virtual analog. Personally, I'm really impressed with the tremendously wide modulation ranges of the analog modeling technology. In addition to analog modeling, we also include physical modeling in the Fusion. Physical modeling, of course, is just a tremendous technology for reproducing solo acoustic instruments, wind instruments in particular. This is a modeled flute. Last but not least, I want to talk about FM synthesis. FM synthesis, of course, was made famous by the Yamaha DX7 about 20 or so years ago. And this is a new technology for Alesis, but this is the fourth kind of synthesis we're including in the Fusion, and we're tremendously proud of it. Here's an FM tubular bell. And of course, like the virtual analog, the FM synthesis has tremendously wide modulation ranges as well. And then here's kind of a wild FM patch. All right, and it's supposed to sound like that. I mentioned the Fusion sequencer. It's a 32-track sequencer, and we also have the ability to play back 8 tracks of 24-bit audio, and also to record 8 tracks of 24-bit audio simultaneously. The entire sequencer is integrated with the audio recording, and of course with all the technologies of the Fusion. And as I also mentioned earlier, it's tremendously easy to use. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to construct a song from scratch using a few tracks of tracks from the hard disk combined with MIDI tracks played on the Fusion. What I've done is I've set up a few tracks with various instruments on them, some loops, some virtual analog, some sample playback, and I'm just going to add instruments every 4 bars. So we're going to start with a drum loop, and then I'm going to add a synth bass, then I'm going to add an electric piano, then I'm going to add a sampled guitar from the hard disk. I'm going to play an analog modeled lead, and then finally I'm going to add a vocal track, which I've pre-recorded. Of course, it would be easy to record the vocal track live as well, but you don't want to hear me sing, so here we go. We're going to add the bass. We'll let that loop. Then we're going to add the electric piano. And then the piano will loop. Now we're going to add some sampled guitar chords. And these will loop as well. Then I have a virtual analog lead set up. And last but not least, I have an actual vocal track that I've recorded. I have this set up on a key being played back from the hard disk. And here it is.
I couldn't wait for it to be finally over. They're gonna turn me back to stone. It doesn't mean that much to me. It's an illusion.
So you can see it's very easy to do sequencing, multi-track recording, combining all the different synthesis technologies on this instrument. So just to recap, it's the Fusion synthesizer from Alesis. It is 4 different types of synthesis technology: sample, playback, and user sampling, analog modeling, physical modeling, FM synthesis. We have an onboard 32-track sequencer, 8 tracks of 24-bit digital audio, all available simultaneously, a 40-gigabyte hard disk that ships standard, compact flash support, and USB connectivity as well. The price, the minimum advertised price, so straight price, is $19.99 for the Fusion 8, which is the 88-note version, and $16.99 for the Fusion 6, which is the 61-note version. The feature set is identical on both products. And that's it.